How can I get all this work done with all the shouting? With all the shouting!
Who the hell is that?
That's,
Halt, Skitznelvet! I am trainer of dolphins. You want to talk to the dolphin? You talk to me.
What happened to the regular trainer?
What happened to him? What happened to me? 7 years I'm with Siegfried, and we are making the dolphins disappear, and then we continue with down tiger, and do stuffing in the pants, and then I'm gone.
where is Snowflake?
Why do you care about the dolphin? Do you know him? Does he call you at home? Do you have a dolphin? To train said dolphin, you must think like a dolphin, you must get inside the dolphin's head. I'm speaking to Snowflake, aga, 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 and then he's saying, aga, aga, and then he's open the tail, and you can quote him.
All right, it's just about time for Coach Shula's press conference, so why don't I take you folks over that way? We'll let,
Go to the conference, go to it. Ace Ventura, Pet Detective, released in 1994 and is directed by Tom Shattuck, who has also directed such films like The Nutty Professor, Liar Liar, Patch Adams, Bruce Almighty, and Evan Almighty. And this movie is starring the legendary actor who had an amazing year in 1994, Jim Carrey, Courtney Cox, Tone Loc, Dan Marino, and the woman who was almost in Batman 1989, Sean Young. And the reason why we're talking about this legendary comedic piece today is because it was a PayPal recommendation and donation from one of my contributors and supporters of this channel. Dr. Cam, thank you very much for your recommendation. If any of you out there also have a recommendation you want to help support me and contribute to this channel, you can select the PayPal link that is on the homepage of my YouTube channel. Send in your donation with your recommendation. Any size donation will do. And if I have access to it, I will watch it, review it, and give you a little shout out for the review, just like what I did with Dr. Cam. And Dr. Cam, Jim Carrey is a very special person in my life. I was a very shy kid, was always to myself, kept to the shadows, but movies like this and movies like Liar Liar, I would memorize those. I would watch them all the time so that when friends or classmates wanted me to do something funny, because I was a little performer and a little dancing monkey, so I was like, yeah, sure, I'll do it. This helped me break out of my shell. This movie, Liar Liar, Jim Carrey, helped me become the person that I am today. So this movie and this performance is very special to me. Why? The theatrical cut or the version that is on DVD, on Blu-ray, on streaming, everywhere, why it doesn't have the amazing dolphin trainer scene like I did in my intro, I have no idea. It was on the VHS tape. I had a VHS growing up. See, back in my day, kids, this scene is there. It's my favorite scene in the entire movie. But apparently, it's a deleted scene and it made its way onto the VHS release. But everywhere else, it's nowhere to be found. If anyone knows where I can find a cut of this movie online or DVD anywhere that has that scene inserted into the flow of this movie, please let me know, because I miss it. I miss it in my Ace Ventura movie. Ace Ventura, Pet Detective, is the greatest pet detective in the world. And this next case he is on is one of the biggest he's ever taken, because the Miami Dolphin mascot Snowflake has been stolen just before the big game at the Super Bowl. Now Ace Ventura is looking for all the clues in the Miami area so that he can rescue the dolphin so that the team may have a fighting chance to win the Super Bowl. But what Ace doesn't know is that this crime goes a little bit deeper into the police department, which kind of leads this movie down a very homophobic route that when I was a kid I didn't really know or see at all, just because those concepts and those things just were foreign to me. I didn't care about that. I just wanted a fun, hilarious movie. So those scenes where he's freaking out being kissed by a man, it was hilarious to me. As an adult, though, I can definitely see how those scenes, like, this is a very homophobic character. You were kissed by a dude. There's nothing wrong with that, Ace. You don't need to overreact like you're doing. He's burning the clothes that he was wearing when he was kissed. I'm like, okay, you're freaking out over nothing. It's just a freaking kiss, get over it. But the homophobic stuff aside, I think that this movie is stellar in its comedic delivery and its parody, really, of every detective film that we've ever gotten. I remember last year I watched all of the Thin Man series, and watching this movie after watching that series, I realized that this is kind of like a parody of the Thin Man series. That whole idea of this detective who really sees everything and knows everything coming in, but Jim Carrey is just hamming it up and doing his own thing and really mocking what detectives like the Thin Man series would do, but he does it in a fun way, and I absolutely enjoy it. Why Jim Carrey chose all of the mannerisms and tics for this character, I still don't know. I don't think anyone knows but him. He's just doing it because it's funny. And he's coming off of In Living Color, he's going into the mainstream media, so here he is doing just fun stuff. And I don't know, it's weird, it's quirky, but it's consistent, and because it's consistent with this character, it works. Plus, I love that this movie is a very simple movie. It's a very contained movie. He's a pet detective, and now he's on the case. There's so much backstory to this character that we could have gone into, his upbringing, where he comes from, his origin per se. But we don't waste any time with that, because we don't care. This is a detective, he's taken on a case, just like any caper film that we have seen previous to this. And because it's so contained, this movie's pacing, I think, is fantastic. Would have been better with the dolphin trainer scene put into it, in my opinion. And then Jim Carrey is supported by performances like Courtney Cox, who was big at this time with Friends, so of course you're gonna put her in films. Then she did Scream, so yeah, she's a big name to have in your film. That's probably what sold this thing a lot, is just her presence and her name on the marquee. Does her character add anything to the story? Not really, just someone for Ace Ventura to talk with and try to make laugh, which are scenes always fun to watch in any Jim Carrey movie, when he's just riffing and going off the cuff, trying to get everyone to laugh. And you get to see all the bloopers, so you can see them cut loose, but to see them in their stoic faces against Jim Carrey going outlandish and doing crazy things, it's great. I hope you realize I'm doing my best not to just be quoting this movie this entire review and not reviewing it at all, just going off of my favorite lines like, "Do not go in there." Woo! New England clam chowder. Is that the red or the white? Can never remember that. White? I'm an excellent tackle in super slow mode. Let's see that in instant replay. Hi, I'm looking for Ray Finkel and a clean pair of shorts. This movie is so much fun, and I think anyone who hasn't seen this film going into it for the first time, I think you would have fun too. There's a lot of stupid stuff in here, a lot of choices, and a lot of things that Jim Carrey does just because it's funny, but it is funny, which leads to the overall enjoyment of this movie. This movie is such a weird enigma to talk about because it shouldn't make sense on paper. Like, how do you write a script for this movie? You don't really. You kind of just hire Jim Carrey and say, hey, here's the general premise, and here, you do the thing. Do you. And that's what we get. We get Golden Age Jim Carrey during 1994, one of the best years of any actor. He had Ace Ventura, The Mask, and Dumb and Dumber all come out in 1994. Like, that's like the best year ever for anyone. Ace Ventura, Pet Detective, it's a fun romp that everyone should see at least once in your goddamn life. Please do it now. I'm gonna give Ace Ventura, Pet Detective 4 out of 5 Blu-rays.
I like it a lot.
So guys, if you've seen Ace Ventura, what did you think about it? Or if you've never seen it before and you stumbled across it because of this video, then comment below, let me know what you thought about it. And as always, if you like what you see here, if you like my take on movies, then hit the subscribe button and make sure you hit that bell. See you the next time I'm releasing next movie review. So guys, I will see you next time on the channel, but in the meantime, be well, be good to each other, and go watch a movie. Take care, guys.